Welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, today we are diving into the complex psychology of connection, attraction, and the subtle emotional cues that shape how others experience you. We are going to explore something simple yet often overlooked. A small shift in awareness that can turn an ordinary interaction into something truly unforgettable. Before we continue, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever been close to someone, not doing anything dramatic, barely even speaking, yet the moment felt intense, almost electric? Maybe it was a glance, a pause, or a breath shared a little too closely. You could not quite explain it, but you felt it deep in your core. That is exactly what we are exploring today. I am Sienna Brooks, and we are not here to talk about cheap techniques or manipulation. We are talking about an authentic understanding of how the human mind and body naturally respond when the right signals align. Here is the reality that most people miss. Attraction is rarely built through bold, obvious actions. It emerges in quiet spaces. It thrives in the subtle pauses, the near moments, and the small shifts your brain registers before conscious thought even catches up. One reason certain types of touch feel so powerful lies in how the nervous system is structured. The human body is not equally sensitive everywhere. Some areas are wired with a higher concentration of nerve endings, meaning any stimulation there sends stronger, faster, and more emotionally charged signals to the brain. But what makes this even more fascinating is the process of interpretation. When touch occurs in these specific areas, the brain does not categorize it as ordinary or casual. Instead, it associates it with closeness, intimacy, and deep emotional significance. That is where something physical begins to transform into something deeply psychological. As Sienna Brooks, I have observed that when someone enters these personal spaces with respect, the brain recognizes it as meaningful access. And access is tied directly to trust. Picture this in a real-life setting. You are sitting close to someone you feel comfortable with. The conversation flows easily. There is warmth, a sense of ease. Nothing is forced. Then, there is a subtle shift in distance. Not obvious, not dramatic, just enough for your mind to register. Suddenly, your awareness heightens. You notice your own breathing. Their presence becomes more vivid. Even the space between you feels charged. That small shift alone activates something deeper within the mind. This is where many people misunderstand attraction. They assume it is about doing more, when in reality, it is about recognizing what is already unfolding beneath the surface. The skin plays a major role here, especially in areas where it is thinner and more responsive. The neck, the jawline, and the space just behind the ear are particularly sensitive because the nerves lie closer to the surface. Even the lightest touch in these areas can feel intensified, not due to pressure, but because of how quickly the sensation reaches the brain. And here is where it becomes even more interesting. The response is not just physical. The brain instantly attaches emotional meaning to that sensation. It connects it with trust and safety. That is why a gentle, well-timed moment can feel far more powerful than something rushed or intense. Now consider this insight, as it may completely change how you view these interactions. The brain often responds more strongly to anticipation than to the action itself. Psychological research on the reward system shows that when we anticipate something, dopamine is released. The same chemical is linked to pleasure, motivation, and excitement. But here is the key. That release often peaks before the moment even happens. So what does this mean in everyday life? It means the buildup, the pause, and the almost is where emotional intensity truly forms. This is the Sienna Brooks method of understanding connection, focusing on the space between the actions. Think back to a time when something meaningful felt like it was about to happen but did not occur immediately. Maybe someone leaned in, then paused. That uncertainty, that what happens next feeling, is where the mind becomes fully engaged. Let us make this practical. Understanding is important, but application is where transformation happens. First, pay attention to your pace. Most people rush without realizing it, speaking quickly, moving quickly, reacting quickly. But when you naturally slow down, everything shifts. Next time you are in a calm interaction, notice your breathing, let it settle. Allow pauses instead of feeling the need to fill every silence. Maintain soft, relaxed eye contact without forcing it. You will begin to notice a change in the emotional atmosphere. Second, focus on presence. This is powerful. People can sense when your attention is divided, and they can also feel when you are fully there. Not trying to impress, not overthinking, just present. That kind of presence creates a sense of safety, and safety is what allows emotional openness. Understanding these layers is how we move from ordinary interactions to deep, lasting connections. I am Sienna Brooks. Remember, real connection happens when multiple signals align: touch, proximity, warmth, presence, and timing. When these elements come together naturally, the brain interprets the moment as meaningful, something worth remembering. Subtlety often creates more impact than intensity because it invites the mind to engage, to imagine, and to feel. Take a second to like this video if this resonated with you and subscribe so you do not miss these deeper conversations. I will see you in the next one.